If you're learning Python, there are few coding questions you'll see everywhere in coding interviews, university classes, and online assessments. And today I'll show you 3 of the most common beginner Python interview questions step by step. So these questions, they're beginner friendly, but they still teach really important programming knowledge. So first of all, we'll start easy, then get harder. Now our first question here is, how do you reverse a string in Python? For example, if you have the word Python, we want the result to become NOHTYP. So how do you do that? Now I'll show you the first method we could use, which is called slicing. Now text is equal to Python, and then we'll write print text, print text, and then like this, -1. Now let me just execute the program, and as you can see, it ends up printing NOHTYP, just like how we want it to. Now basically this might look weird at first, but this is called slicing. The double colon -1 tells Python to go backwards to the string. Now basically here, I mentioned in my previous video where I taught lists, I mentioned that it's called stop and skip. So basically here, if I did example, so the start is 0 automatically because there's nothing, and then the index 0, and then here is end at index, well, again 0, and then here -1. So basically here skip. Now if we do -1, we're basically telling Python to go reverse mode. So if we did here, for example, 2:5, this would basically tell Python to print till index 2, which is 0, 1, 2, print from T to 3, 4, 5, from T to O. So it's gonna end up printing though. So, and also whenever we use slicing, it never actually mentions the last number, so it's always before the index 5, so it ends up stopping at the index 4. So now let's test more examples. So we could also use example print hello, just like text equal to, for example, hello, and then we'll write, I don't know yet, text. Print text, then we'll write colon negative. Now here we do the same thing, it would end up printing OLE. It sounds really weird, but it ended up printing the opposite of hello. Now basically, now I'll show you guys a very common beginner mistake, which is trying to use dot reverse on a string. Now basically what I meant by here, so text dot reverse. Now let's let's clear the terminal and let's execute our program, and it ends up printing an error. Why? Because that one worked, because strings, they're immutable. Now let's move to a more logical problem. Now the second question is, how do you remove duplicates from a list? Now imagine we have this list, which is called numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and let me just add some duplicates. So basically 2 and then 3. There you go. Now the easy method here is using sets. Now in my previous video, I explained to you guys what sets are and what they do. So please consider watching that video. And anyways, so unique is equal to list set numbers. All right, now what does this do? So let me just print the program. All right, now this basically removes the duplicates in our list. Now basically the set method, it's a method that automatically removes duplicates. So this is the very easy method to remove duplicates from your list. So a set automatically removes duplicates, then we convert it back into a list. Now important note, but there's something important. Sets do not always keep the original order. Now this is the problem. So if we write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so basically here, it's not always going to keep the original order. So it could also be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, something like that. But anyways, so this is the better interview friendly method. So here again, let's just keep our list of numbers, and then we'll write unique is equal to a list, an empty list. And then for num in numbers, write colon num not in unique. If num not in unique, then unique dot append. All right, and then we'll write print unique, just like that. All right, now let's execute our program and let's see our output. And it ends up printing 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So by here, let me just remove it like this. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just made a mistake of indentation. So indentation matters here. So this basically removes the duplicates automatically from the list. So now this version is actually slower, but it shows actual problem solving, and interviewers usually care more about your logic. Now let's move to the hardest one, which is the star pattern. Now this is one of the most common beginner interview questions. Now we want Python to print this pattern, which is of a right angle triangle. Now how do you do this? Now let me just remove this real quick, and then we'll write for I in range 6. All right, for I in range 1 to 6, my bad. Print star or asterisk symbol times I. Now, what does this code basically do? It basically like the loop, it runs 5 times, and every time Python multiplies the star. So at first, the value of I is 1, all right? Then this star times 1, and it ends up printing 1 star in the output. And then it moves on. The value of the I becomes 2, then 2 times 1 star is 2 stars, then 3 times 1 star is 3 stars, and so on, which ends up printing a right angle triangle. Isn't that cool, guys? So basically, it's the same thing as doing print star times 1. So let me just copy paste on this real quick to save time. So star times 2, star times 3. So it's basically the same thing as doing this, but using a for loop is much more efficient because you don't want to just keep using a lot of print statements for no reason. So I'll just remove the indentation here. Now let's clear the terminal, and as you can see, it ends up keeping exactly the same output. So this is why the pattern works. Now here's the most common beginner confusion. Now many beginners think this is math multiplication, but in Python, strings can also be multiplied. Now let's upgrade the pattern. Now let's make the pattern upside down. Now for I in range, let's write a program for I in range 5, 0, and then -1. And we'll put a colon here. Then we'll write, all right, print star times I. Now let's execute the program and let's see what it ends up printing. It ends up printing an upside down right angle triangle. Now this time we count backwards. So it's basically from 5 all the way down to 1. And here it's stop step. So we're telling Python to go like reverse mode because we're telling it to go -1. So, and then here it starts from index, well, it starts from 5, and it ends, and then it ends up stopping at 1 instead of 0. So now let me do a quick recap. So today we learned how to reverse strings, how to remove duplicates by using the set method, and 2 star patterns that are very useful. Now these are all very common beginner Python interview style questions. So if you guys can solve these comfortably, you're already building strong Python fundamentals. And in the next video, I'll show you even more Python problems beginners struggle with. Guys, that was it for today's video. So please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Guys, have a nice day. Bye.